Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Sousou no Frieren episode number 11 reaction. Alright, the previous episode was one of the best episodes of this series. We got to see the flashback between Frieren and Flamme, and we got to see what Flamme taught her, how to trick the demons and make them think that she's weak by suppressing her mana. So the demons, they never even like imagine that someone can actually or will actually suppress their own mana, because for them, for the demons, mana is literally like an identity. So suppressing that is kind of crazy for them, so they'll never like suspect it, and they'll always lower their guard, and bam, then they'll strike. So that's what she has been doing up until now, and she has been suppressing his mana, which is the reason why both Lugner and Aura mistook her power. So also, Fern also is suppressing her power. So Lugner at the end of his life realizes that, and he's like, "Oh, this is blasphemy, this and that." Yeah, and then the whole like reveal in front of Aura that what, I was tricking you, and like by that time it was too late. She was literally in front of Frieren, and Frieren just ordered her to die. And yeah, because of the scale of obedience or whatever it is called, yeah, that happened. Her soul's power, her mana was way more than anything that Aura could even imagine. So yeah, it was great, it was fantastic, and the whole build up to the whole that scene is impeccably done. Like the whole flashback and everything, and the whole build up was done very well, and it was one of the best episodes. So let's see what happens in today's episode. This is episode number 11. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, that's the scale. Okay. Where is Frieren? Oh, there she is. Rain. Hmm. Yeah. No, she's praying to the. I was thinking like, wait, why is she praying to Aura? Like, no, she's praying for the other. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, okay, he's here. Spear was ready to run. Oh, there's the. I'm guessing he'll find that locket, the one that we saw. Yeah, so this time she dispelled them. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, like how Aura reacted to it and how you know they're supposed to react. Yes, he's like, yeah, that was a crazy battle, but yeah. Hmm. I think. Yep, I was going to say. I was just thinking like they're going to find that. And is this his son? Or no, probably not. It's just like one of his soldiers, I'm guessing. Oh no, it is his son, isn't it? Or maybe not. Okay, I'm not 100% sure. Okay. Oh yeah, the Grimoire. Hmm. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Well, obviously because Flam is the one who taught Frieren. That's my hobby. True. Hmm. Wow. Yeah, you think so? Oh yeah, he remembers. Old man. It's like, wait, that was for real? He could actually kill me? Oh my, bruh. Who the hell is this? Oh, yeah, what? Yeah. Well, you. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna drop it. You did that to Frieren because he looked at those demons. Oh no. Oh wow. Well, magic is handy. No. Um. I don't know. I feel like Frieren will not try to make a fuss about it because that's what Flamme always taught her. I guess a little bit of a. Damn, those are some big hamburgers. What the? Some big burgers. Wait, this is millet. Yeah. Okay. Yo, that guy. He has traumatized Stark. Fern is feeding her. Wow. Oh, this song style is so beautiful. Like this song style, I know this is Millet. However, this song style reminds me of a game, Utawareru Mono. If you guys know about it. Hmm. Yeah, it's been a while we've stayed here, so. Hmm. Hmm. Really? Well, we have Frieren and Fern. Yeah. What is that? Some kind of ranking? Hmm. Oh, wait. Fern has it. Oh my god, so she outranks Frieren. Like, in rank, she outranks Frieren, that means. Yo. True, like, she has lived for so long. She couldn't be bothered. Antique. For her, that's just it barely, yeah. Like, what, 100 years? Like, so they have to get a certification. Oh my god, is Finn going to take an exam? August. Oisarst. That's a cool name. Oh no, Finn is going to have to. Oh my god. Nice. Alright, Frieren will have to give an exam. Oh, snowing. I like how they changed their clothing, you know, winter clothing now. Really? Yeah. Yep. Oh my god. Okay, you know what? I can see that now. What? This is crazy. It's like a whole. Oh no, Stark. Oh boy. Winter in the north. Can't she use like a magic to? I don't know. 28 years. Bruh. Yeah. I don't know. Like, oh, okay, that's a shame. Bro. he what? He has his ex as well. Oh no. Oh, there you go. That's a house here. Random house in the middle of nowhere. I'm guessing it's like a rest house for adventurers or something. Oh wait, there's people in. What the hell? What's that noise? Is someone exercising? Yeah. What the? Wait, this voice. Whose voice is this? Like, he's just keeping himself warm, you know, like this. Oh, this is Dio's voice. Freaking Dio's here. I was like, where have I heard this voice? Oh wait, he's also an elf, isn't he? Is he is? Wait. Oh my god, 300 years. Goddess. Ah. So I'm guessing he's not a mage, he's just a like a soldier or a fighter or something. That's why he wasn't able to. Oh, he's a monk. Okay, there you go. So he uses his fist, I'm guessing, since he's a monk. Mm, yeah. Oh no. What's happening? Why? Yo, wake up, dude. Yeah. Hey, yo, there's Ison waiting for him. Oh boy. Well, makes sense. He's the only dude here. Is to warm him up, you know. Blood body temperature. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, I can understand. Yes. Well, he's an elf. He should be very strong. He must have been training for hundreds of years. Well, hmm. Hmm. Ah, I see. Hmm. Probably not. Wait, is he someone famous? Before that. Plum is disciple? Oh, I see. Okay, that's what he was saying. Damn. Hmm, nice. Fear already started eating. He's very religious. You can see, like, you know. Oh, even now Frieren is praying. Ah, finally, the snow stopped. Oh my god, 6 months. Hmm? Is it people? Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Goddess of creation. You're young. Wait, is he even older than her? Hmm. True. Oh. Hmm. Corrupt priest. Oh boy. Hmm. He also wanted the, yeah. Corrupt priest. Hmm. Wow, he knew that. I'm guessing he got to know that little by little because at first he didn't know. He said that she doesn't have that much mana. Yeah. Useful for the future. Well, he can adopt. Oh my god. Well, it's too late, you know. Yeah. Yeah, it's like they have long lives. The problem is someday, somewhere. Yeah, old man. Well, he is an old man, technically. I'm pretty sure he's older than Frieren because he said something like you're young. Oh, okay, that's it. Oh, is that ended abruptly? What the hell? All right, that was a nice episode, a very chill episode. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, that is it. All right. That was a good episode. Again, here in this episode, it is like a little journey. They are on their journey towards. Obviously, their main goal is the demon, like the aureole, and for do that, they have to go to the northernmost part, and this is on the way. And here on the way, they come across this elf who obviously he has lived for a long time as well, and he is a religious elf. He believes in God, and like he prays to God and everything. He's kind of like a priest, and he talks about God and like someone who's waiting for you in heaven, and how like he wishes that someone is going to praise him, which is obviously the goddess or the god here. And what is very interesting about this episode is that like the whole conversation about like someone praising you. That's such a very interesting conversation. I never really thought about it, but now that I heard like this conversation, them talking about this whole topic, yeah, like it's something that I don't think I've ever thought about, like how we do a lot of things because at the end of the day we want someone to, you could say, like acknowledge us. In here he tells it like we want someone to praise us, but like in a better way to like to talk about that, I guess you could say that everyone, all human beings, at the end of the day, like whatever things they do, there is an expectation of acknowledgement, be it from your family, be it from your friends, be it from anyone. And the thing is, like, people who do not really have anyone, any like friends or family, or they're like kind of like a person who keeps to themselves, you know they always have one person who is there to praise them. That is God. And that's what he says. Being an elf, you live for a long amount of time. Frieren has lived for thousands of years. I'm pretty sure this guy is probably older than Frieren as well. And for someone like him, as he said, that all my friends and everyone has passed away, and I'm just there who I have all the memories of them. And I'm like I want like everything, all the experience and everything that I've gathered and everything that I'm doing at the end of my lifespan, I want to go to heaven, and I want to stand in front of goddess, and goddess will praise me. That that whole conversation is such an interesting conversation because like it is true. Even Frieren, who's very stoic and always very dry and everything, even she also, I guess, she didn't really say that I want acknowledgement, but even Heiter, as we got to see in the little flashback, praised her back in the day. And he also said that, Frieren, like, no one's going to praise you, I'm going to praise you. And like everyone, if you think about it, Fern also, if you remember in one of the previous episodes, there was a section when Fern said something along the lines of like, oh, she's always very, like, stoic, she doesn't really talk that much, but when, like, when but sometimes you can see when she's acknowledging us, acknowledging me, you can see that she cares about me. What was that episode? That was that episode, of the first few episodes. There was one episode when she was, like, like, talking about this, and Frieren was, like, sleeping on her lap, that part. um in this episode as well, Frieren praises both Stark and Fair. You know, so you can see, like, obviously she didn't really need to do that, but she did it. She did it because it's nice. It's nice when someone acknowledges your effort. When you do something good, or when you do something remarkable, yeah, everyone needs a little bit of praise. It helps you. It boosts your confidence, and it makes you happy. That kind of thing. So yeah, like, and as the elf said, that if you have no one to praise you, there's always God. And he has that, like, he has that thing, like, where he does all of these things. He lives a proper life. He prays to God, obviously, because when he wants to die, when he'll die and will go to heaven, he can be there, and the goddess will praise him. So yeah, it's a very interesting conversation that they had here in this episode. I really enjoyed it because, like, we never really think about it, like, how everything that people do at the end of the day, it's always nice to get a little bit of acknowledgement. Like, you keep doing stuff, nobody praises you, or nobody says anything good to you. That's kind of, like, that's a very not nice feeling, isn't it? Even though you're doing everything without expecting anything, still a praise now and then is always nice. I don't know, like, that kind of thing. So yeah, overall, that was a great episode. We get to see um, Frieren and a little bit of her past again, what happened, a little bit of a flashback, and yeah, we got to meet this guy. What was his name? Wait a minute, I forgot his name. Wait. What was his name? Just a minute. Did he mention his name? Wait, did he not mention his name? I think he never mentioned his name, did he? I didn't really pay attention if they mentioned. Wait. Okay, either I'm missing it completely, or he never mentioned his name. Okay, we see them, like, him meet the group. Yeah, he talks about how he thought all the elves have died out, this and that, and he's like, oh, thanks for the fire, miss. I'm lucky to have met a couple of misses. Oh, Kraft. There you go. He mentioned his name. Okay, yeah, there you go. I remember it now. Yeah, it's Kraft. Okay. For a moment, I've completely I forgot what his name was. Right. It's a very easy name. Kraft. Very easy name to remember. I'll keep that in mind. Okay, there you go. So he's Kraft the monk, and he's an elf. So yeah, and yeah, the whole section, and they spent 6 months here. Obviously, you cannot really do anything in this situation. It was snowing. You cannot really go out into in the middle of, like, a like a mountains while it's snowing. It's kind of risky. So yeah, you know so they had to stay there for that amount of time. But now, after, like, they spent a little bit of time together, and all that stuff that happened, yeah, they're now ready to continue their journey. And as uh, Kraft said, that we'll meet again. We're elves. We'll live for a long time. So we'll meet again someday. And yeah, that's where it ended. So yeah, great episode. Um, you know, a very, I would like to say, a very not slice of lifey, I would say, but a very mm, a very like interesting episode. Like I said, I really enjoyed the whole conversation between Kraft and Frieden about like the whole acknowledgement part. How people always wants to be acknowledged, and how he has God and he's waiting for the day when when he'll stand in front of God and God will praise him, and and how he was like, I can praise you if you want, but Frieden was like, no, I already had someone who has praised me. He is in heaven now. And yeah, he was like, yeah, I hope you like, obviously you'll meet him again then. So that whole conversation was very interesting. I really liked that. Okay. All right. Now let me switch into a scene by scene way of discussion. In the beginning, we get to see Frieren is praying in front of like all the armor, all the people who have died unfortunately in Aura's hand. Their armors are over there laying down, and he's praying for them. And what's his name? Granart. I forgot his first name. He comes in and he obviously sees the whole situation. He's very surprised, and he's like, "Damn, that was crazy." Then, so he thanks Frieren, and he's like, "Oh, at the beginning, Frieren was trying to run away because he thought that he'll arrest her or something." But but it's like, it's fine, Frieren. It's he's here. He's not going to arrest you or anything. Yeah. Either way, okay. Frieren talks about how Himmel, wait a minute, just a sec. Okay, yeah, Frieren talks about how Himmel, how Himmel scolded her for before, kind of trying to attack these armors, using magic, and he scolded her. That's why she's like, that is why I had to do the dispel this time. And she says that, what, this feels normal, and he does a section where she kind of thinks about Aura's way, the way Aura said that, oh, these people are already dead, that's a useless thing that you're doing, using dispel against them, but it's not about, obviously it's not about what is it's not about the what can I say? I cannot find a proper word to explain it. It's not about the ease or the convenience, or something like that. It's about the morality of the situation. Like, that's what Himmel told her, that yeah, you can easily, these people are technically dead, you can easily destroy them using the magic, but it's nice to be respectful, if you have the power to do. Yeah, Frieren has enough power to do that. So that is why she used dispel this time. And now, looking at this whole situation, Frieren is like, you know what, yeah, what I did was correct. This seems normal, not that Laura said. And it's kind of interesting because how they say, unless and until you experience it through your own, you won't really believe it, or you won't really understand it in a deeper way unless and until you experience it. After losing Himmel and her party, he also lost Heiter as well. After losing these two, now she can understand the feeling of, back then when she was with Himmel. Himmel told her that, oh, you should be respectful, to the dead and stuff like that. She kept it in mind, but she really probably didn't realize what he meant or understand it. But now, after she lost both Heiter and Himmel, she now knows what it feels like to lose a loved one. And she can now, put herself in the shoes of someone, who has lost someone. And if Aura disrespects that person, she now understands how angry she will be. If Aura disrespected Himmel here, she would be pretty pissed off. And now she understands what Himmel said by saying not to disrespect the dead, or be more cautious with them, be more respectful towards them. She can now understand because she has lost someone. Back then she didn't really have any type of feeling about that. But now she has experienced the loss of a loved one, you know, and she can now understand, what Himmel meant and why he said that, because she's can put herself in that perspective now. She can see like the whole situation through that perspective. I don't know if I'm properly able to like explain it, but yeah, I think that's what. Anyways, so Frieren. Okay, so here's another section where we get to see the Granat. He like finds that necklace. I knew that he was going to find it eventually, and obviously now here I'm not really sure. I don't remember if they mentioned it or not. He obviously he talked about his son. So did they mention whether his son was killed or was he imprisoned by Aura? If he was imprisoned by Aura, then there's a high possibility that this armor with this necklace was his son's. If not, this is probably one of the other like guards. But I'm pretty sure it's his son's, isn't it? Because I remember him saying these particular necklaces are, like the symbol of their like their family or something. So it must be his son, isn't it? I'm not really sure. Let me know. Um, Either way, she thanks Frieren for doing this, and not really destroying them or killing them. Not killing it because they're already dead, but still not really like using any magic spell to destroy these armors. Like she used this spell. She's thankful for Frieren, to Frieren for that. Okay, next scene we get to see he gives her the grimoire, and he's like, "Are you okay with this? This is actually..." And Frieren is like, "Yeah, I know it's fake, but it's my hobby. I'm collecting it." So he's like, "All right, then suit yourself, if you want that." And they talk about how disrespecting like royalty is like actually like they can kill you for it. Like they can put you to prison or like take your life. And how Himmel and like Heiter went in through the same situation before. And Stark is pretty scared because he remembers he did kind of disrespect him, and Granat also did kind of tell him that I'm going to take your head. You know who you're talking to, boy. And he didn't really think about it that much because now that he knows that's actually like they can actually put you to death for disrespecting royalty. He's pretty like afraid now, and there's this one dude who comes with a axe. He was cutting wood or something. Seeing that, he goes unconscious. He faints. Oh my god! And Grant is like, "Oh, I'm not going to do that. That was just I was just saying that to make you run away from there." But anyways, he's already unconscious, and they decided to take him and float him outside. Yeah, and Granat also says that there's a little bit of a celebration we're going to have, so like stay for a bit. And yeah, so they stayed for a bit, did a little bit of went through a little bit of recovery process. Stark got healed. Fern helped with the construction. They had a little party as well. Like they were like eating this big burgers. Good god. Yeah, and there you go. And then they gave respect in the end. Like putting the swords and like gave respect for the people who have died. In the end, it's time to go. So they are like on their way, and Granat here tells them that you cannot really travel unless and until you have a permit for a first rank magician. I think that's what he says. Wait a minute, first rank? Just a minute. Currently, conditions on the northern plateau aren't looking good. Travel is restricted. Adventures must be accompanied with first class mage. Yeah, there you go, first class. So Frieren is like, the hell is a first class mage? And Frieren is like, oh, this thing, like I'm kind of third class, I'm a third class mage, but we have like like first class, second class as well. So technically, she outranks Frieren. Oh my god. So yeah, and Frieren's like, I can't be bothered with this. Like every time you people like change your rules, I'm a long living person, so I cannot really I can't be bothered to do that. And she brings out her pass or whatever, and she's like, I have this thing. But it's like that. What the hell is this? This is an antique. Anyway, so technically she will have to give a test, and she has to pass to get that certification. So yeah, good luck with that. Um. Okay, before that, they will be going to oil sauce. Wait, what? The largest magical city in the northern land is Oisost. Beyond Schwer Mountains. So yeah, first is there. They'll have to go there first. So yeah, they have to go through Schwer Mountains, and yeah. So later on, Granat is like, we'll never forget your help here. We'll always be in your debt. So they are on their way. So it's snowing. It's winter, and they're like wearing like warm clothes and everything. But in the mountains, there's a big snowstorm that comes. They cannot do anything, and Stark again faints, and they have to carry him. They cannot use the magic spell because he'll get blown away by the wind. So they're like, yeah, we'll have to carry him. Stark is like, Fern is carrying Stark, and Stark is like, you smell good. Oh my god. Anyways, so they come across this one little hut. Frieren knew about this hut obviously because this is like a resting place. There's someone inside, and there's like weird noises coming from the inside. I was like, oh, someone's probably exercising. Yep, there's this guy who's exercising, and he's like, yes, that's so good. And and they're like, oh, excuse us, and they try to leave, but he stops them, and he's like, oh, you're an elf. It's been a long time I've seen one of my kind. So yeah, they get in and they talk about the whole situation. And he you can see he's a religious person. He talks about how goddess must have brought them here, and he talks about how it's been a long while he have met an elf. And he wasn't able to make the fire because he's a monk. Obviously, he doesn't have any magic, capabilities. So that's why he didn't have the fire, and that's why he was exercising to keep himself warm. So now obviously Fern is here, Frieren is here, they can just make a little, fire. So he's like, thanks for this, everyone. And yeah. So okay, so Stark is kind of getting colder, so what to do in this situation? And Stark is having like a dream where he's like in a warm place or something. There's like, he has this pudding in front of him, and little Isen is just there in like underneath the pudding. And he wakes up and he sees he's like what's his name? Kraft is kind of like obviously kind of close to him because body temperature to keep himself warm. Obviously, like Fern and Frieren cannot really do that, so the only person that is here, what's his name? I can't forgot his name. Kraft, yeah. He's there. And, like obviously, like Stark is baffled. He woke up to this dude beside him, and he's like, "What the hell? Who's this old man?" But anyways, after getting to know what's happening, he's like, "Damn, you must work out. You're pretty built, well built, And yeah, and then Kraft is like, all right, Frieren and Fern, help me out with a few stuff. He has like a lot of supplies and everything. So they were all frozen, but now that we have these two, they can easily thaw the ice, and properly they can use the materials. So yeah, obviously they'll have to stay here for quite a while because it's snowing. They cannot really go. So 6 months they stay here, and you can see that it's kind of interesting. This whole little montage, you can see like they spend their time. If you pay attention here, you can see Fern is praying, Kraft is praying, Frieren is just eating, so is Stark. Now that's the first section we see. Time goes by, you can see Stark is exercising, Kraft is talking to Fern about the statues, the idols, talking about his faith, his religion, I'm guessing, talking about the goddess of creation. Frieren is kind of listening to that, but she doesn't really talk about religion or anything that much. She's not really that interested, but she kind of listens to them, and yeah. Now after that, You can see them like finding like nuts and everything the squirrels have put. Again, this time, however, you can see Stark is closing his like obviously his palms and like praying. Frieren is praying. Kraft is praying. Frieren is still eating, so she still isn't really that much, Yeah, it's fine. Next, we see Stark is like cutting trees and helping him out. Um, Again, fast forward. This time, Frieren is also praying. So like this whole like like little montage that we saw on like a little like thing, we see how Frieren little by little at the beginning she wasn't really interested, but spending time with them, she also decided to like join them in their prayers. And like I guess that was the whole like theme of this whole section. As we get to see later on, like Kraft also tells her that like there is God. Like if you want someone like to praise, I can like you have obviously you have your friends and everyone, but when you have no one, you have God. you know and yeah, and Frieren isn't really that much of a religious person, but staying with them, she can like she now joins them in their prayers and everything. And that was a very interesting like little montage. Like I said, like every step you can see, at first Stark wasn't really praying, but then Stark also starts praying, and then in the end Frieren is also praying. So 6 months have went through. So yeah, Kraft is talking to Frieren. Kraft gives Frieren like a little memento, and he's like, give this to Frieren. She's a pious girl. She then must have been raised by a priest. Obviously, Heiter, like raised her. And here they start talking about their faith. So Frieren says, Kraft, why do you believe in the goddess? Um, and he says like, you don't, do you? She says that excluding during the age of mythology, um, the goddess of creation hasn't shown herself once in the long history of the world. And you can see the goddess of creation, the little statue. He says, oh, you're young. I used to think that way too. Which obviously makes me think that he's probably way older than Frieren. Otherwise, why would he say this? But now I believe in the goddess from the bottom of my heart. No, I need her to exist. Everyone who knew of my righteous triumphs has died. Excuse me. So when I die, I'll go to heaven, and the goddess will praise me. Yeah. She'll say, well done, Croft. You've lived a fantastic life. Yeah, someone to acknowledge. Everyone needs that. You know, however much you deny, everyone needs that. You understand that, Frieren? It is too cruel for a path your life took to not be remembered by anyone or acknowledged by anyone. We've lived a long life to get to this point. And you know what? Like, the thing is, like, the more life bigger your lifespan is, the more you need someone to acknowledge you. Otherwise, you'll go crazy. We compared to elves, we live very long, like very short lives, like a maximum 90 100 years. Elves live for like thousands and thousands of years. Just imagining so many years of loneliness, nobody acknowledging you or like praising you. That is, yeah. And that is why obviously now that Kraft doesn't really have any friends, like obviously everyone has died, he's kind of like a lone person now. That's why he said, I need God to exist, because otherwise who will acknowledge me? My faith is keeping me still like like strong. And I'm just waiting for the day when I'll die, when I'll go and she'll acknowledge me for everything that I've done. I've lived a good life. And Frieren says, Kraft, that's just something we desire. And he says, yeah, you're right. Does that apply to heaven too, Frieren? Okay. Yeah. Tell me yourself, about yourself, and I'll tell you about, okay, that part. Okay. Just a minute. That's just something we desire. You're right. Does that apply to heaven too, fear? This is a very interesting, like, two little sentences. Fear says this is something just that we desire, and he's like, yeah. Does that apply to heaven as well, Frieren? Which kind of makes me think, like, this, like, obviously, like, the fact that, like, we talk about heaven, hell, and all that stuff is because, like, one of the biggest, like, things is that we are afraid of death is because we don't know what comes after that. you know Nobody knows what comes after death. That's why a lot of people are afraid of death. They get afraid of being forgotten, as like, as he says, that we need people to remember us. It's a very scary, like, like, thought that nobody will remember us. So that's why we fear death, because we don't know what's after death. And that is why, like, we talk about heaven, we talk about hell, we talk about going to heaven and the gods will be there. And that's what he says when Frieden says, like, oh, that's just your desire, what you think. He says, doesn't that apply to heaven as well? Because, like, heaven is also a thing that, like, we have given, like, we think about, because we don't know what is after our death. We think about going to heaven because, it's like a like, you can at least visualize something. you know so I don't know, that's probably what they were talking about here when Frieden said that that's just your desire. Like, yeah, that's just what you think. He's like, yeah, and that's all we need. you know like, we don't really need something to, like, obviously, like, this whole thing that he talks about, like God and, like, going to heaven, God praising him. It's a belief. And yeah, you're fine to have a belief. It doesn't matter if it is real or if it is not. If a belief is strong, then it is real. That kind of thing. And that's what he says, that, yeah, like, that can apply to anything if you think about it. So yeah, your faith here is obviously, that is the most important thing. Okay, and then we go to a little flashback when he says, like, I can praise you. She thinks about Heiter, when Heiter also told her that, like, kind of said the same thing, that I'm sure goddess will praise me for living a pure and proper life. And she also says, like, oh, like, my child will also, like, where's that part where he talks about, you don't beat around the bush, do you? When he made the offerings, he says, I'm sure the goddess will praise me for living a pure and a proper life. You do not seem to believe in the goddess, Frieren. And he says, like, yeah, if you want, you can tell me, I can praise you. And she also kind of says that, oh, I know that you're also not, like, hiding, you're suppressing. When she says that, oh, I haven't really done anything that, impressive, he's like, oh, no, definitely not. No, you have been suppressing your mana, haven't you? He knows it. He has gotten to know it because he has been traveling with her for so long. And when Frieren tries to dismiss, saying that, oh, I haven't really done enough to anything to, like, deserve the praise, it's like, no, you have been suppressing your mana. That's such a crazy thing you're doing. You definitely deserve praise for that, and I'm going to praise you for that. Yeah. And okay, wait a minute. You noticed? He says, like, yeah, how many years have we been traveling together? And she's like, it's not an interesting story. And he's like, oh, I don't mind. Besides, it sounds like something useful to know for the future. She's like, why? Perhaps a child of mine will become a mage. Yeah, and that's what we can see now. We have Fern, we have Stark over here. And yeah, Frieren remembers that, and Frieren's like, no, it's fine. I had someone who praised me. He's not here anymore. He's in heaven. And Kraft is like, all right, then you'll meet him again in the future. And then he bids his goodbye, and he says, like, I'm sure we'll meet again, Frieren. We have a long time to live. And he says goodbye, and he's on his way. So there you go. It's a very nice episode. Yeah, but you could say, like, a interesting, thought-provoking episode. So yeah, there you go. So that is it, guys. That is my reaction to episode number 11 of Sousou no Frieren. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And that is it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next week with another episode of Sousou no Frieren. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.